Good evening, welcome to 100% LCFC, part of LeicesterFanTV.com. My name is Phil and this is our Monday night fan zone show. Get your views in, get your comments in. This is all about what you guys want to talk about, not what I want to talk about. I always let you guys let me know what are the big topics. I think I know what you want to talk about, but I want to hear what you want to talk about. So do let me know in the comments. The big talking points. Do we want to talk about Soyuncu looking like out of nowhere this season, being one of the best defenders, not only at Leicester City, but one of the best defenders in the Premier League? Ditto Johnny Evans. How good is Johnny Evans doing? Let me say some hellos. Chappers is watching. Hi Lee. Andy Young is watching. Pete Hydes, get your views in. Matthew Bond, good evening to you. Steve Hubbard, James Hand, Darren Thompson. I want all your views. Matthew Bond, get those views in. Good evening to you, Lorraine Burrows. How are you? Brett, thanks for joining us early, Brett. Get your comments in. How good do you think Leicester are doing, Brett? Let me know. Adam Tucker saying, let's talk about Arsenal. We certainly will be talking about Arsenal. Obviously, the big game. I can see Jamie from the Foxes Arms is watching this. Jamie, who you all love to watch on a Sunday morning in his Foxes Aftermath show, is coming to the game. He is going to be at Leicester City v Arsenal. So come and say hello to him. Come and meet us all. We'll be down the Blues Bar as ever. Pre-kickoff. Trying to work out what sort of time that will be. It's obviously a 5:30 kickoff, so I would think we'll be down there from about 4ish enjoying a pint or two. Come and join us. Gemma Louise, good evening to you. And Andrew Scheiber, how are you? Lee Clayton says, another great performance. Who is Harry Maguire? Well, we did a lot of talking about Harry Maguire yesterday, straight after the match. I did a live video. Good evening, Karen Kennell. How are you? Get your views in, Karen. Let me know what you think. I want all your views. I want to read out as many as I can. We've got a far-flung fox here. Here is Helen Mary. Hi, Helen. Good morning from Australia, Helen says. If you're a far-flung fox watching this, let me know where you are. Let's see where else we've got people watching from. Brett is saying, we are looking absolutely fantastic. I have nothing to moan about, and I'll be running down Filbert Street wearing my pants. Brett has famously said that if Leicester, what was it, Brett? If Leicester are top at Christmas, was it top at Christmas? I think it was, Brett. If Brett says if we're top at Christmas, he's running down Filbert Street in just his pants. Mark Willoughby is saying I'm marching around the pitch at half time. Mark is obviously one of the service personnel, I think. So Mark, well done. It is the remembrance match on Saturday. I was just speaking with Neil Clayton, who has been on 100% before. I'm trying to arrange to meet him up. He's actually one of the servicemen who should be hopefully laying the reef at the match. So we're hoping to catch up with him. Aaron Lally is saying you're going to be at the Blues Bar after the game. Of course, Aaron will be there before and after, outside, doing some live videos and chatting with you. Come and say hello. Adam Tucker is saying this is going to be a massive game via Arsenal. Put some points between us and the teams outside the top four. It would do, wouldn't it? It is one of those proverbial 6-pointers against Arsenal. No reason we can't beat Arsenal. We thrashed them last year, 3-0. That was one of the best games of last season. I remember speaking with Chappers and a lot of the Arsenal fan TV lads outside, and trust me, they were begging for some of our players. They wanted Chilwell, they wanted Maddison. They were drooling over our players, and that was back in, when was that? March last year. Sean Culpin, good evening. How are you? I'll see you Saturday, Sean. Yes, come say hello to us. And Kevin Parry, good evening to you. Christine Gregory, get your views in, Christine. What do you think to Leicester? Want all your comments, all your views. Jamie from the Foxes is saying he's going to be at the Blues Bar at 3ish. A couple of early shandies for Jamie. So by the time we go live at about 4:30, Jamie should be well vocally lubricated. Lubricated? Making words up. Lubricated. Phil Creed is watching all the way from sunny Leicester. It's not sunny now, is it, Phil? Come on. It's a bit wet. Chappers, good evening to you. Clayton is watching. Yes, hi, Clayton. How are you? John Squire saying, I think we can win it. I think we can win that against Arsenal. We should be... This is... Crikey, Riley, this is the most confident I think we've been in a long time. Brett saying... Him and Scott watched the 3-0 win over Arsenal in sunny Ingermells. Lovely memories. Yes, it was. Back in March, was it? Or was it February? Scott Simpson is saying Leicester to win on Saturday against Arsenal. And then puts a 2-2 in, which is typical Scott. Well done, Scott. Chappers is saying he's going to ask Lee Judges from Arsenal Fan TV if he can jump on and do some stuff on the channel this week, which would be great, Chappers. Leave that to you, hobnobbing with all the AFTV guys as ever, Chappers. Aaron Lally is saying you've got to get the footage of DT from AFTV crying after we beat them. Dag Holman is saying, good evening, Dag. Dag says, stay grounded and we will win. Aggie Frith, good evening, Aggie. Thanks for joining us. Get your views in, Aggie, as ever. Great to have you with us, Aggie. Clayton says we will win comfortably 2 or 3-0. Pete Hydes is going for a 2-0 City. We'll move on to the Arsenal game. Let's just stick back to the Crystal Palace game. What was your favourite bits from yesterday's game? Was it Soyuncu's header? Not necessarily the best goal ever, but it was very important. It broke that deadlock. He was left unmarked, partly because I think, like they were saying on Match of the Day 2, Johnny Evans had an outstanding game yesterday. I think a lot of us gave Soyuncu man of the match, but Johnny Evans back there, those two are forming. I think they look better. Johnny Evans and Soyuncu look better than Johnny Evans and Harry Maguire. Do you agree with that? If you agree with that, give us a like. I'll see them come up on the screen. And I know that you all agree with us, but I definitely think, I mean, we're 11 games in now. They look better to me. Soyuncu looks better than Harry Maguire. I don't want to turn this into a let's have a go at Harry Maguire, but thanks. Yeah, I can see people putting likes on the screens. They're agreeing that Soyuncu and Evans are looking better than Soyuncu and Harry Maguire. Craig Pearson says yes, they are. Jamie, I'm going to come on to what Jamie wants to talk about. The favourite bit was Vardy's celebration. Absolutely, Jamie. I think that was a highlight for me. So what did you think too? Shall we try it? An eagle. Not quite as good as Jamie Vardy's version, but it was very funny. And that'll teach them. I mean, Sheffield United fans, he got the big old, I can hear you. This time it was an eagle to the Palace fans. If you notice, Jamie Vardy most times gives the away fans some grief at some point, scores so many. Jab Lawrence is saying we'll beat Arsenal 2-0. Jamie had to score first. Aaron Lally is saying his favourite bit was Vardy's eagle. It certainly was. Lee Gascoigne is saying Vardy's celebration. Ross Howard, good evening, Ross. Thanks for watching, saying it was Vardy and his eagle. Brett has got a good point here. Brett says, I think Tielemans looked amazing yesterday. After a slow start, he's really got going now. He has, Brett. First 7 or 8, 9 games. Perhaps first 6 or 7 games, to be fair. We were talking, and we're honest, saying, Tielemans, who is this £40 million player? It doesn't look the same player that we had before the summer. Very interesting interview with Yuri Tielemans on Sky over the weekend. I don't know if some of you caught it, but it was very interesting. He was very honest about why he joined Leicester City. If you've not seen that, check it out. I'm sure it'll be on Sky Sports or skysports.com. But he was really interesting how he said he almost couldn't put his finger on why he chose Leicester, because it seemed clear that he was given better offers from bigger clubs, the Man Uniteds of this world, or was being tempted by them. But he obviously felt that he was comfortable at Leicester. I think that little trial period from January, I think he bought into the ethos of what Leicester City are doing. And coming on to the bigger clubs, so-called, and the Harry Maguire thing, I think a lot of those Leicester players are shoving 2 fingers up to Harry Maguire. I think that's partly what's going on. I really do. Do you agree with me? Do you think the players are trying to show Harry Maguire that he made a bad move? That's part of what I think is going on. Anyway, let's get back to your comments. Keep all the comments coming. Lee Chappers is saying, 3rd week on the trot, fans have chanted about Mrs. V, and bang, he gets his goal and rustles them. Yeah, top shit housery, yes. Mark Willoughby says, Vardy's goal was great. What a build-up. It was. Best goal you've ever seen since... ... Fill in the blanks. When was the last time you saw such a good Leicester City goal? There was certainly some in the Premier League winning season. Put in the comments what you think that was the best goal since, and then ... and let me know when that is. Pete Hydes, I agree with Pete. Pete saying Vardy seems to be getting even better and better. Do you agree with Pete? I certainly do. Carolyn O'Connor, good evening to you. Thanks for watching, Carolyn. Please like and share this video. And Carolyn, get your comments in. Let me know, what do you think to Leicester City at the moment? Aggie's come in here. Aggie Frith says, what a great performance yesterday. Vardy celebration and the DJ in the away end. Fantastic. Absolutely top notch. Scott Simpson saying Leicester's ethos is class, and I agree, Scott. Mark Wright is saying, I think Casper should get more of a mention. Best keeper in the Premier, better than his dad. Fair comments, Mark. Interesting. Better than his dad is a big claim. I think Kasper Schmeichel is having a great season and has had a really, really good career, but it's not over yet, so it's hard to judge whether he's better than his dad. I'd say not yet, but let's see what happens by the end of this season. Another title for Leicester City, and he might be in for a shout. Andrew Turlington saying Soyuncu is the man. Joanna, thanks for getting a comment in. Joanna Astley says Tielemans picked us because he said everything is perfect at Leicester. That's it. He couldn't quite put his finger on it. He just said it's perfect, didn't he? Adam Tucker is saying, how much effort did Madders put in? Great for the team and an England spot. What do you think to James Maddison? I mean, we've been saying how good he was last season. He looks, I'm going to say he looks nearly twice as good at the moment as he did last season, James Maddison. Genuinely think I think he is our star man. I think Youri Tielemans is coming into his own as well. Again, what the bit about Leicester that I'm liking so much at the moment is they're all cogs in a big machine. That's how Leicester are playing. They're all bits, which is how we won the Premier League in 2015-16. We had just a few players that all came together, and that's what it's beginning to feel like this season. Do you agree with that? Jamie from the Foxes saying Vardy's like a fine wine, getting better with age. Alex Green, well done Alex for winning the £30 LCFC gift voucher that we gave away on Friday in our fan subscription raffle. Alex Green anyway says he suggested it's not all about the money, but it's about the values of Leicester. Schmeichel said recently that it's the values at the club that has kept many players there longer than they may have done at other clubs. Club values, that's great. Brett Coombs is saying, I love Brendan and Kolos's ethos. Ross Howard is saying, Harry Maguire leaving Leicester reminds me of when Mark McGee left Leicester for Wolves. And look how that turned out. It certainly did. Plenty of people have left Leicester and it's not worked out. Let's not forget Danny Drinkwater in that one. Clayton Neal saying, Vardy's celebration was unreal. Must have practiced that as it was one of the Eagle. I don't think he did practice that. Maybe he thought of that. Do you think Jamie Vardy spends each week thinking, right, if I score against Crystal Palace, I'm going to do this. If I score against Sheffield United, if I score against Arsenal on Saturday, I know exactly what I'm going to do. He does seem to have some great little celebrations. Guy Cooper, Guy who gives us the lucky gnomes. Not had much lucky gnomes, Guy. We need some lucky gnomes, please. Guy saying, I think the chants about his misses are proving positive. He sticks it in the net and laughs at them. Totally agree with you. I'm going to scoot down to I've got to skip some of the comments out because there's so many. Keep them coming in. Jackson Hill saying, can you say hi to Michael whilst he's supporting the Blues in Spain? I certainly can. Hello to Michael supporting the Blues in Spain. Whereabouts in Spain is he, Jackson? Let us know. Ash Tebbett's just joined us watching. Hi, Ash. Thanks for watching. Get your comments in, Ash. Joanna Astley is saying, watching this team, you can see they are really enjoying playing together at the moment, and that's why it's working for them. You're dead right, Joanna. Well done. Adam Tucker says, Ndidi is looking like an absolute machine this season. We're just going through the players one by one here. Ndidi is looking like a machine. James Maddison is looking so creative. Tielemans is like the glue in the middle. Jamie Vardy's on fire, top Premier League goal scorer. We've got Caglai, Soyuncu and Johnny Evans, best centre-backs in the league. Certainly the tightest defence in the league. We've got Ben Chilwell. A few fans having a little go a few weeks ago, but they've all been quiet. Brad Lingard, take note. We were having a chat earlier, me and Brad, on the phone. And Brad admitted, he said, I got it wrong. Chile's doing super well for us. So we've got Ben Chilwell, one of the best English left-backs in the country. We've got Ricardo Pereira. Ricardo actually possibly didn't have his best game yesterday for us. What do you think to Ricardo yesterday? I'm not going to criticise him, just don't think that was his best game. I thought he was a bit sloppy at times. And we've got Kasper Schmeichel. What a cracking 11 we have on that pitch, let alone the ones who come on. Demarai Gray. Well played, Demarai Gray. Anyway, listen, let me get back to your comments. Brett Coombs says exactly that. Demarai Gray, what a super sub. He did. Demarai Gray. I've often moaned about Demarai Gray not having a football brain. He gets in front of goal. he gets the chance to do something, and instead of making a nice little layoff pass or doing something simple, he always tries a hard thing. Yesterday, the last few games, Demarai Gray has come on and looked very mature. I think Brendan Rodgers is having a really good effect on Demarai Gray. Do you agree with me on that Brendan Rodgers is having a positive effect and is making every single player across the park better and better? Get your views in, get your comments in on that. Luke Maitland says, whenever Dennis Pratt has featured this season, he's been great. Again, on the bench, we've got Dennis Pratt, we've got Demarai Gray, we've got Mark Albrighton, we've got Hamza Chowdhury. We've got a decent level of depth this season on the bench, which is fantastic. Adam Tucker says, feel good factor around the club at the moment, and it's showing on the pitch. It certainly is, Adam, you're so right. Really does feel top notch at the moment. Jamie McQuillan, interesting one here, Jamie. Jamie saying no to Jack Grealish. A few rumours around the media this weekend about Jack Grealish. I think he's a quality player and he's doing well for Villa this season. I don't think we need Jack Grealish. I'm not sure he's the right sort of character for the club at the moment. I think we've got James Maddison, we've got Yuri Tielemans. We've got characters who are similar to that. For me, I was a Jack Grealish fan. I still am. I don't think he's right for Leicester at the moment. And he is Villa through and through, so hopefully not. Terry Fuller saying he's got me on stereo in his house. Works wonders, 2 speakers. Well done, Terry. Well, Terry, I'm just pleased you put 50p in your meter so that you can watch this week. Brett Coombs, interesting question. Brett is saying, who do you think we need to buy in January? Do you know what, Brett? I think we're going to leave that debate for tonight. I think that is a great debate. At the moment, you'd be hard-pressed to put anybody into the first team to make an improvement. I really think that. But we just need to... My biggest worry for Leicester, Brett, is still about that striker role if Jamie Vardy was to get injured. Let's hope he doesn't. Let's hope he doesn't. Daz Stockwin says Soyuncu accidentally became better than the £80 million Harry Maguire. I agree. Listen, if Soyuncu carries on like this season, Harry Maguire was sold for £80 million. What would Soyuncu be worth at the end of the season? Put in the comments what you think. What is Soyuncu worth now? Only 11 games in. I don't know. What would he be worth? Don't forget, we paid pretty decent money for him. I think £17 million over 13, 14 months ago. So whoever scouted him, and let's give John Rudkin some credit here for some of these signings, like Soyuncu, like Tielemans, like Dennis Pratt. Quality coming in. Andy Young making me laugh here. Andy Young says, Jack Grealish is like a Poundland Madison. Oh, that's harsh. It's harsh. He's good. Chappers is saying, don't forget the 100% LCFC podcast will be out this week. It's on iTunes, SoundCloud and YouTube. Don't forget, go over and you can find everything to do with Leicester Fan TV on the website, leicesterfantv.com. Go over there and catch everything. Mark Wright saying, isn't Zlatan coming? I've not heard that rumour. I wouldn't say no to a bit of Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Just to sell 50,000 shirts, it could be worth it. Nath Cut says, shout out to Betsy, so we've done that one. Soyuncu is worth £90 million all day long, says Daz Stockwin. And Aaron Lally saying £120 million. Getting carried away. We're getting very carried away very quicker. Daz Stockwin is saying, I think we do need another striker in January, and Craig Pearson agrees with you. But Pete Hyde says, I don't think we need anybody. I certainly, you wouldn't want to upset the apple cart at the moment. I think everybody's playing just about as good as could be expected. Absolutely fantastic. Michael Bainbridge saying Wilf Zaha would be a top target. Didn't see much from Zaha yesterday. I think he looks a Mardy striker. I'm not sure he's one of these mavericks, but he has got that Mardy streak in him. Would you want Zaha at Leicester? For me, no, I don't think I would. To be fair, I don't think I'd have Zaha. If you would have him, put in the comments, let us know. Keep getting your views in. Keep getting those comments in. If you can like and share this video, thanks for that. And let's get back to your views. Get your comments in. Barnes is great, says Pete Hyde. Listen, Pete, I think Harvey Barnes is doing really well. Just needs that final product. Just had a couple of chances yesterday. Didn't quite finish. If only Harvey Barnes could fight. I mean, he scored a wonder goal away at Sheffield United, didn't he? But he just needs to get in that little bit more clinicalness. And I'm sure it'll come. He's a young lad. So I agree, Pete. Barnes is looking very good. But just needs to get clinical. Gray Richardson says, I hope the Gunners fans try winding Vardy up on Saturday. Makes him more determined to score. I agree with you, Gray. I'm sure they will. Jamie from the Foxes is saying Soyuncu is massive. And Brett Coombs saying Barnes needs a goal. I think you're right, Brett. Just needs that goal. Excuse me. Neil is watching. Good evening, Neil, part of the 100% LCFC team. Don't forget Neil and James's show. The Kit Room is on YouTube every Thursday about 8 o'clock-ish. Nath Cut is saying, shout out again, people, to Henry. He is 3. Happy birthday to Henry, who is 3. I don't know if it's his birthday, Nath, but there you go. You got a little shout out. Daz is saying we want 10 on Saturday. Brett is saying, what am I drinking? Do you know what? It's just a nice cup of tea. That's all. Cup of tea, Brett. Is there any sneaky beer in it? No. I wish there was some beer in there. Michael Bainbridge saying, Harry Maguire may be a shout as a backup defender. We could probably get him for about £10 million. That's a bit harsh, Michael, isn't it? A bit harsh. Not a great move for him, though. Really, really not a great move for Harry Maguire at the moment. It looks like he's messed that one up. Clayton is saying here, coming in with a bit of worldly wisdom, saying, let's hope no one puts in huge bids for any of our players in January. Needs to keep all our players and don't know why anyone would want to leave. I agree with you, Clayton. Let's hope nobody does come sniffing around the Leicester players, and let's keep everybody together. So we've talked about yesterday's game. That was looking very, very nice. Obviously, we are third. We could go second if we beat Arsenal on Saturday. It's a 5:30 kickoff. Let me know, are you going to the game? If you're going to the game, put in the comments, say, yes, I'm going to the game. If you're not going to the game, if you're going to watch it on TV, if you're far-flung Fox, I've not heard many from the far-flung Foxes tonight, so if you're a far-flung Fox watching around the world, put in the comments, let us know where you are going to be watching the match from. Craig Pearson saying, what do we think about the Everton player? Yeah, Gomez yesterday. It was obviously sad, horrific to see what happened there. I felt like it was one of those accidents that we've seen. It reminded me a little bit of when Stan Collymore broke his leg. I was sitting in the old East Stand and Stan Collymore just did it in front of us and just completely out of nothing just put his foot on the ground and broke his leg. Do any of you remember Stan Collymore breaking his leg? It was only about 2 games after he'd come on, scored a fantastic hat-trick with Emil. Had he replaced Emil Heskey? I think he had. Or was he with Emil Heskey? Anyway, Stan Collymore, fantastic. And then just stood down and broke his leg. I thought Gomez, obviously unlucky. I don't think Son was to blame particularly for it. Yes, he went in for a tackle, but I don't think so. Anyway, listen, that's Spurs. That's Everton. We've got Everton in some weeks' time, obviously, in the league and in the cup. Leslie Gill is saying, going to the game. See you down there, Leslie, then. Pete Hides is saying, I'm coming up from Southend. I think that's what Pete's saying, or you're watching from Southend. Prannav is watching from India. Well done, Prannav. Jamie from the Foxes is saying, yes, I'm going to come and meet at the Blues Bar before the game. Don't forget, you can come and meet the legend that is Jamie from the Foxes Arms. Joanna Astley, is it this week, Joanna? You're going to come on and chat with us live after the match? I think it is, especially if Leicester win, Joanna. I think that's a deal. I'll take it. Aggie says, do you think City should be looking to extend Rodgers' contract already? I'd be a little bit worried if the Arsenal or Man United job came vacant, or even Tottenham. That's a good question, Aggie. That's a good question. I think, no, not yet. I think he's only 6 months into his contract, doing a great job, and we don't want him to go anywhere. But I don't think he'd go yet. But I would agree with you, Aggie, that I would think some of those other so-called big clubs will be looking at him. But hey, let's see where he can take Leicester this season, and then there'll be no need for him to move anywhere. That would be what I would be saying. Andy Young is saying he'll be watching the game with an Arsenal fan. Should be fun. Ken Andrews is saying Rodgers likes Nacho. Is he still going to take over from Vardy because he's still only 22? It's a question. We've not seen much of Nacho this season. So, but he is young. Paul Birchett saying he's going to the game. Ben Stevens saying here, interesting one from Ben. Ben says, would you forfeit a few transfer windows to offer our current squad top 6 wages? Rodgers said in an interview that being unable to pay big wages is the only thing that might tempt players away. I think that's a great question, Ben. I think the honest answer is we don't pay badly. A lot of the Leicester players are some of the best paid players in the Premier League. We are not skimping around on wages, but I admit we're not paying the £200,000, £300,000 that people like Man United are paying, but we are paying decent money. Vardy and Casper and such like, I believe, on the big money. So I think we don't really need to go through that. Alex Green is saying, Ben Stevens saying we need to be paying top six wages if we want to keep up with them and keep our star players. I think we will be there. Oh, Joanna's saying she will come and speak to us finally this week after the match. Win, lose or draw. It's only going to be a win, Joanna, and we'll see you there straight after the final whistle. You can come and tell us which of Vardy's goals was the best. Brett is asking, where is Scooby Baz? I know, we always love to see a few comments from Scooby Baz. He isn't here tonight. Brett, what's he doing? Missing out. Jack Marston saying top six is establishing nicely. And I agree with Jack. How many of you are getting super excited about top four? Obviously we all are. I'm asking you. I mean, that was... Jack was saying, is top six establishing nicely? I'm asking you, and I want to know from you in the comments now, is the Premier League dream on? I'm saying it. At the moment, I'm going to say it. We are in a Premier League title race. There's four teams in it. Let's be honest. At the moment, there is a title race on, and there's four teams in it, and we are in it. Obviously, there's Liverpool and Man City, but I'm going to say Leicester and Chelsea are in that race. There's four teams in that race at the moment, and I think the media is starting to raise an eye at us a little bit. Do you think, put in the comments if you think we are in a Premier League race, because I genuinely think we are. I think we've got a chance to win this little baby again. There's no reason. I think that we're in it. John Baines is saying the dream is on. I think it is on. I think the dream is on. I think we're in a title race. It's November the 4th today, and the title race is on. Get your comments in. Let me know if you agree with that. If you think the dream is on, if you think we are in the title race. I certainly do. Jamie from the Fox is saying we're 60 to 1 now. Those odds are getting cut day by day. They were 150 to 1, I think, about 10 days ago. Jack Marston is saying, what is to say we can't turn over City or Liverpool in December? We're only 8 points behind. I agree. People are saying, oh, you can't catch Liverpool in that. We can. We've played them at home. We've got a game against Liverpool at home later this on Boxing Day. And we've got two games against Man City. It is not over, and there's plenty of points to go. People say, there's a few people saying Leicester aren't in it, and I'm like, well, 2 out of the top 3 have actually won the Premier League in the last 3 years. One of them hasn't, and we're one of the ones who has won it. So why would you rule us out just because Liverpool's the so-called big club? Liverpool haven't won the Premier League in 30 years. They've had the chances a few times in that, and they haven't made it. We actually did it 3 years ago. For me, we're in it as much as any of those other 3 teams. I saw one thing on the media at the weekend where they were saying, oh, it looks like the title's going to be between Liverpool and Man City, but you never know, Chelsea might come in. I'm like, talk about dismissing Leicester. But for me, we're in it. I want to hear your comments. Are we in it or are we not in it? Paul Birchett is saying, why not dream big? James Harlow, again, keeping it real. James is saying the dream for him is for us to be top 3 for 5 to 6 years in a row. I'm sure that would be good. Ben Watts is saying, yes, we are in for the dream. Tony Martin saying, I totally agree with that. Definitely Liverpool will slip up sooner or later. Come on, you Foxes. Carolyn O'Connor saying, if we believe it, the players will believe it. I think the players do believe it. David Horse, in his best Claudio Ranieri voice, saying, I'd be happy when we get to 40 points. Well, we're only 17 points off that already, so we're well on the way. Ian Donisthorpe is saying, absolutely not. Cesspools to lose. Liverpool's to lose, he's on about. Brett Coombs is saying, lift the trophy for us. I will, Brett. Why not? Why can't we have this? Why can't we win this again? We can. Absolutely, Brett. Well played, Brett. We can win that. We can have it again. It is ours to go back. We won it 3 years ago. Liverpool won it 30 years ago. There's one of those two teams who haven't had it. Jack Marston is saying Liverpool will slip like Gerrard. Again, that was the last chance they had to do it. Chappers is saying, looking at bringing you guys the away day matches, would you like to watch that? I don't know if you've seen Chappers. He's been doing some of these away day games, watch throughs. They've been quite entertaining. I've been watching them. So follow Chappers over on his Twitter, and you can find him from everything there, Lee_Chappy. Jamie Preston saying he did a poll yesterday on his show, whether top 6 or title challenge, and most said top 6. That's interesting, most interesting. Pete Hydes is saying as long as we stay fit. I think Pete is on something. There is only so much depth in our squad, but I think it's the best looking squad we've had in a long time. Jamie says dilly ding dilly dong. Nath Cut, keep that. I've lifted the trophy. I've lifted it. Come on, we've done that bit. What about the League Cup, says Andrew Schreiber. Yeah, well, League Cup, let's stick in at Everton away. No reason we can't go to Everton, is there, Andrew, and pick that up. I still want us to do the Cup, but honestly, every week that goes by in the league and we pick up more points, suddenly I put on my big club attitude. We're big club boys now. This is the League Cup. Oh, we want to win the Premier League. No, seriously, I want to win the League Cup. The League Cup was one of my big aims. I love the League Cup from being, obviously, a Leicester fan back in the Martin O'Neill days. So, Andrew Schreiber saying it's a day at Wembley. It certainly is a day at Wembley. If we get to Wembley, we're doing it the tough way. We've had away trips all the way through this Cup competition. It's like somebody doesn't want to get there. Jamie says, League Cup quarter-final, your favourite game after the last 2 years. Yeah, 2 years of Man City at home, 2 years of Clubwell picking the wrong team. Brett is saying I'd love any cup. I agree. Listen, at the end of the season, if we were to walk away with a League Cup final and win and get into Europe, that would be a top season for Leicester City. Mark me that. Chappers is saying he'd rather have the top 4 over the League Cup. Sorry, I agree with you. Aaron Lally is saying title and no FA Cup, or FA Cup and top 4 win with Champions League. I'd love a bit of Champions League again. Do you know what? I was looking on my Facebook timeline just the other day, and what popped up was the away day to Copenhagen. Absolutely loved that away trip, albeit a bit cold. We well underjudged the weather before we went. We went out. I think I went out in just my jacket, and it was freezing her nuts off. First thing we had to do when we got there in Copenhagen was buy a load of scarves and hats to try and keep warm for the rest of the day. Anyway, good days. I'd love to get back to European and Champions League would be good. Although, to be fair, if you got in the Europa League, I think we could win that one. Brett saying put the trophy on your head. I'm not going to do that or break it. Can't be dropping it. Pete Hydes is saying, I'd love us to win the FA Cup in my lifetime. I know, especially a lot of older Leicester fans. Pete, I'm not saying you're old, by the way. I'm old, so I'm not saying you are, Pete. A lot of older fans, like us, would love Leicester to win the FA Cup. I've got to be fair. I value the League Cup just as much as the FA Cup. It's a cup. I do not know why the League Cup is classed as inferior as the FA Cup. I know it is, and I know it is. But I'd just as happily win the League Cup as the FA Cup, but trust me, now we are in this top 4. We're in the race for that. That's what we're in now, and that's what I think we should focus on. Pete Hydes is saying he is old. He is old. Jamie is getting carried away and saying, let's go for the treble this year. Treble is on. League Cup, FA Cup, Premier League. Listen, I'd take any one of those, and League Cup and top 4. Would you take that? No. We're after that. We're after the Premier League again. We're in it. Trust me, we're in it this time. We've got to believe it. Brett, I can't sing the Champions League theme music to get you in the mood. Alex Green is saying, Jamie, well done for aiming so high. Pete Hyde's saying, he's 57. Thanks, Pete. You never need to tell us your age, 57, but you're obviously from the mid-60s. You were back, when Leicester were in the heyday back in the 60s, Pete. You remember that. Aggie is saying, would love to see us win the FA Cup. Chappers is saying the Premier League title is on 75-1. I'm buying the beers. Have you got 50 quid on it, Chappers? could be the best movie ever made. Mind you, it's not 5,000 to 1, is it? Listen, thanks everybody who's been watching. This week, what have we got going on this week? Obviously, we've got the match on Saturday. Come see us at the Foxes. At the Foxes, at the Blues Bar. I've got the Foxes Arms on my head tonight. Do come and see us at the Foxes Arms next year, where we should do a live from there. Come and see us at the Blues Bar before kick-off, after kick-off. The Kit Room's on Thursday. Chappers goes live on Wednesday, and his podcast comes out around then. Don't forget, we do this great app where it's called Who Knows Wins. We put links up, me and Chappers, and there was about 20 fans played along with us last week. Everybody chucks a fiver in each and predicts some of the scores and sees whose wins. I won nothing last week, and some of the fans, and I don't like to say it, but Chappers actually won the money last week. Anyway, listen, Jamie will be live. I don't know where Jamie's going to be live from this week. He's actually in Leicester. Maybe he'll be live from Kirby Muxloe or wherever he hangs out, wherever he's ended up in some pub on Saturday night. And watch his show at 10 o'clock. Don't forget, thanks to all these guys, we can't do this stuff without some of these guys. Hologram, Pink Vehicle Leasing, ADT Taxes, Peter's Pizzas, Emergency Glazing Services, and Bodie Hodges, charity that we support. Go and like all those companies if you can on Facebook, Twitter, wherever they are. Don't forget, you can win one of the pink shirts on the YouTube channel. Go over to the YouTube channel and you can win that. And go and find anything to do with Leicester City. Read Simon Mack's report on LeicesterFanTV.com. Most of all, thank you for you all watching. Carolyn O'Connor, thanks for that, saying we should all go and do it from Alcudia next season. Carolyn, that's a great idea. Joanna, thanks for watching. She's put a fiver, she says, on Leicester finishing top 4 2 weeks before the season started. Good faith, Joanna. Chappers, yes, well done. You did win. Brett, thanks for your comments. Ken Andrews. Thomas Sawbridge, Michael Bainbridge, Aggie, Pete Hydes, Alex Green, Sue Taylor, Andrew Schreiber. Thank you all for your comments. If you can like and share this video, that would be much appreciated. From me, thanks for another great chat, fans Q&A. I'll see you before Saturday. We'll be doing the Tactics Room show. Just can't wait for Saturday. I just wish it was tomorrow. I really do. Really want it to be Leicester v Arsenal. Bring them on. See you next time.